So this is Erin Burchik. She's the founder of the Joy Market. Let's get Your 5 minutes begins now.
I will never forget September 2nd, 2015. I had just started this nonprofit organization, the Joy Market, which created books and resources to cultivate compassion in kids. And I'd also recently become a mom to 4. So when I got on Facebook that day, I was honestly probably just looking for some kind of an escape. And I remember looking at my phone and just scrolling down, and all of a sudden, I landed on this image. And it felt like somebody had just punched me in the stomach. And I wonder if anybody else had a similar reaction when you saw this photo of a precious 3-year-old Syrian boy named Aylan, who had gotten on a boat with his family in search of refuge. But tragically, as the photo showed, he had drowned, and they found him on the shores of Turkey. If you remember, this was at an extremely intense time during the refugee crisis. We saw so many images like this one of people leaving their countries in massive numbers. And when we saw those in our country, there seemed to be just this sense of fear that caused many to default into this us versus them mindset. And we can do this with anything, whether it's race or religion or politics. But on this day, when we saw this image of this precious boy, we knew his name, we saw his face. We could not label him as a them. He was a part of us. I remember realizing that he was the same age as one of my sons, and that night I could not sleep. I remember thinking about the desperation of his parents, and really I was thinking about this bigger problem, that this us versus them mindset leads to, we don't have a sense of that just human connection with people just because they're different than us. So I got out of bed, and I went to my kitchen table, and I started writing this story of a little boy who starts off fearing people from other cultures, but he goes on an adventure around the world to see the way that other kids play. And by the end of the book, he realizes that these kids from other places are just friends he hasn't played with yet. And he realizes that even kids who are different from him are not a them, they are a part of us. And for the next 2 months, our team worked tirelessly to bring this book, The Bear Hug, into the world. And the response that we got back was overwhelming. We began to especially hear that this was working so well in a classroom setting. And so we began to get these invitations to do these programs in schools based off of our books. And as we did these, we heard from the teachers that it truly was cultivating compassion in these kids. But the way that we did this was that we didn't just go and read our story. We actually invited those kids into a bigger story. You see, as they came and they engaged with our books and they bought our books, together we all knew that we were funding an entire school for 150 Syrian refugee kids in Turkey. And prior to this, these kids had no access to education. This is a picture of one of the 6 teachers at the school, and we were able to tell the story of these precious Syrian friends in the programs that we did in the school. And we did this in a way that just brought them so much dignity, and truly they were the hero in this story. And our American kids who were part of the program just felt like they were the ones that were just cheering them along. They even wrote notes of encouragement back and forth. And as we watch this sense of connection, as we watch this sense of compassion grow and grow, we knew this had to be multiplied. And so that is why I'm here tonight. We want to see this thing go out so much further. So I've just told you about one of our books and programs. We have others, but this year we are going to be doing a pilot program for 10 schools in the Atlanta area. And as we do this pilot program, we are going to be taking the best things we learn here, and we want to create fun and engaging videos that will complement our books and also share these stories of kids around the world. And so that's exactly where the $5,000 grant would go to for us, is we want to create these videos that will help us take this kind of an experience nationwide. And so we hope that you will join this story so that the next generation can go beyond an us versus them mindset, and so that they can know the joy of connection with others, especially with others who are different from them. Thank you.
Perfect. Good job. Love it. All right, Diane, what question do you have for Erin?
First of all, thank you so much for that story. That's great. I love what you're doing there. I'm sure that you face opposition out there with this story. What do you propose to do in that situation when you do come into communities and you do have people that may not want to hear that story? So,
Well, haters gonna hate. That is for sure. We definitely have found that. This is one of the reasons that we really want to go into schools and focus schools, because we've just seen the openness that these kids have, that we really have this opportunity to help shape their mindset of people from around the world. And we have so many more ideas that we want to move forward with. With the people who have kind of been the haters for us, it's been a challenge, but our biggest hope in terms of the way that we address them is we just love to talk to them about our friends and actually help them understand that the stories that they're hearing are one thing, and that we like to really introduce them to people and give them an alternative story so that they can maybe grab hold of that. So I've actually worked in the refugee community for the last 10 years, and I love to introduce my friends to people and help, again, just break down those barriers of that mindset. So I think people and stories are the things that really help with those people.
All right, thank you so much. All right, you all set?